Hey UTV Boondockers, on this episode of Project Off Grid, kind of obvious, you know what we're going to do. We're going to snorkel this thing. Why would you want to snorkel it? Well, the intakes are a little low, and if you follow along on our channel, we've kind of got into those mud holes and sippy holes that are just a little off camber, and I really don't want to suck in a bunch of water or mud in the intakes on this thing. So I'm just going to go ahead and do it. Follow along. All right, we're gonna unbox this thing. Takes a big box. Instructions, you won't need them after my video. Wink. Let's start getting all this stuff out. This is gonna be your center. I'll run these for you really quick. Snorkel caps, gonna look like a Kenworth going down the trail. Set of stacks on her. Cover plate, it's your block off. All right, new boot. This is your other block off for the other side. Another tube. This is all your hardware, caps, decorative. The part that we're going to take off along the back side of the tailgate and the big trucker stacks. So we're gonna put these off to the side. It's gonna be a while before we get to those. All right, that's everything in the kit. All right, first things first, tilted the bed back, remove the shock absorber pin. That way you get full rotation, gives you a ton of access. First thing, we gotta remove this thing. Grab your handy dandy dart remover. If you don't have one of these, it's probably one of the best ways to do it. It protects them, it doesn't tear them up. Some people try to use pliers or a knife or anything else, and you just mess them up. No sense of trashing them when you can reuse them. All right, simple as that. All right, you're gonna need a T30. We're gonna pull this side cover off first. Simple as that. Had to pull forward just a little bit to get it over that ridge. All right. Okay, we're gonna remove this side. Same process as the other side. This is your CVT side. Now, keep these, put them off the side because we are going to reuse them and they will get reinstalled. All right, you got some splash guards in here on the other side. Underside, you're gonna wanna pop those off. You gotta kind of wiggle them a little bit. Wiggle, pull up. All right, on your driver's side, I'm gonna go ahead and remove this. I've already took my darts out. I'm gonna take that shield out just to try to get easier access and definitely for the video here. All right, we're gonna loosen up some hose clamps. You're gonna use a 7mm, just a little quarter drive. Nice and gentle on these things, please. Last thing you wanna do is strip out these gears. They're kind of dainty. We're gonna loosen this one. We're gonna loosen this one up. Let's see, we got this one that we're gonna have to loosen up. All right, we're gonna pull our dart puller here. Pull these two darts up on the air box. Hey, big fan of these grip mats too. If you've got one, they're pretty awesome. Flexible silicone. They stick just about to anything, and it's great to organize everything. All right, we're gonna pull this off. We're gonna tip this air box, rustle with it just a little bit here. Hold your lips just right. And out she comes. All right, T20, we're gonna run that here. We gotta try to get rid of this box. So it's pinned to the wall here. Now, all these parts and all this hardware, we're gonna keep. A lot of it's gonna get reused, so there's no sense of throwing it on the ground or losing it down in the engine compartment here. Okay, put this off to the side. Okay, first we're gonna pull this rubber boot. You don't need it anymore. That goes out. In your kit, you're gonna get a little round disc to plug that off. It's gonna go in that spot. There you go. Okay, we're gonna cover this up. It's not functional anymore. This kit, I'm sorry, it comes in your kit, latches on like so, and then the original screws that we used when we pulled this out, they're the T30s. We're just gonna run these back in. Voila. All right, we gotta get rid of this boot here. She's tucked in there pretty good. So again, we're gonna use this 7. And then right here, there's just gonna be 2 clamps. Take this off, take that off. That's gonna be for your CVT vent. You can see the CVT's running there and then blowing right back in down that. Put this off to the side. All right, we're gonna have to relocate these vent lines. So you got a couple tie wraps on here. So we're gonna cut these and we'll end up pulling these out. Oh, that one's got an extra one on it. This is all gonna get relocated. All right, that's free. All right, we're gonna remove this snorkel, or this vent line here. Again, we're gonna 7mm, nice and easy. Definitely helps if the machine is brand new. Kind of cheating. Don't have to worry about all the dust and the dirt and the debris in the crust. All right, okay. Put this to the side. All right, we're gonna cap off the CVT side now that this is gone. So you're gonna put your plug in, a little piece of injection molded sandiprene there. That's your block off. Then we're gonna put the cover on this side, just like we did on the other side. All right, so we're gonna put this on here. It does have a letter code. It says D on it. D for Can-Am Dan. And then a D right here. So we're gonna line that up, that tang, exactly in that to make sure this lines up perfectly. I'm gonna roll this clamp around that came in the kit, like so. I'm gonna index it so it's up a little bit so I can get to it easy. Get her stuffed on here. All right, definitely tight. Maybe a little Windex on there, probably wouldn't hurt. But we're lined up and we're gonna go ahead and tighten that back up. All right, we're gonna run these 2 screws out here. This is what's gonna hold the vertical intake for your CVT. Whatever you do, do not open your door or make any adjustments. We're gonna run these bolts out, put that plastic piece on, and then run these right back in. That way it doesn't throw anything out of adjustment. Up here, we're gonna be using a T40. All right, this is your mounting plate. This rib goes on the inside of the towards the inside of the machine. Being that I took these off, I got some thread locker on it. Put a little blue right back on it. All right, on your clutch side vent, Can-Am says to use that screw out of here. So that's the one we're going to use. It's a T30. Put a little extension on. So this is going to go into here and then attach to there. Let's get it done. All right, we still have this nice and loose down here. We're gonna finger start this, which there's no threads in that. So you're making your own threads here into that plastic. So take it easy, don't overdo it. Really don't need the extension on here. I was thinking I was gonna need it, but I don't. Okay, I got the cheater out here. I'm just gonna take it easy on that. Looks good. Okay, over on the driver's side, they're asking us to do something a little bit different. It's a little retaining washer, and then you're to use this screw, which is an M8. So we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna pop that up there real quick, and then we'll move on. We're gonna get these caps on, and I'm gonna show you how to do that real quick. So here on the passenger side, we're going to loosen up that same T30. We're going to loosen that up. We're going to place that back on and then tighten that back up. And you're going to need probably an extension to be able to reach in there. All right, and then on the driver's side, we're going to use an M10. Move that off of there. Hey, also, dumb tech tip, but cover up your boots that are exposed and they're pointing up. If your luck is as good as mine, the chances of dropping something down there and ending up in the CVT or the motor is pretty high. So while you're doing all of this and test fitting and getting all that done, cover those things up. All right, we're going to work on rerouting these vent lines. They're going to give you a couple of these little plastic clips without the Christmas tree on it. You're going to run a washer and a screw through it here. Sure I am. If I held it right. And away we go. That's going to go right here next to this bump out right there. You're going to put one right here, and then you're going to put one right up here at this top. And then these vent lines are going to run up and run through that. When I get these put on, I'll show you what it looks like. All right. Right here, and then right here, using a T20 to run those in. Okay, we're going to secure our 2 spots down here now that we've already got that. And I just have it loose sitting there. I did not tighten it up because we're going to have to adjust this. So this, again, a little T20. It's going to go through here. And it's going to go to this mounting tab right there. You kind of leave it just a little bit loose. And then when you put that one in, you will notice that this one should, and I say should, line right up, and it does. We're just going to run those in. Whoops. Going on. Operator misfunction here. Good. Small little twist of an ugga-dugga. Not too much. These are just plastic, and those are self-tappers. All right. Now we're going to run back up with our M8, and I'm going to tighten this up. Pretty solid. I like it. All right, I got a little ahead of myself when I ran these vent lines. Shouldn't have done that yet, because we're going to run this up from the CVT, from that front side way over there, to move that up to get it to your connector. So this little hook end goes down in here. And I know you guys can't see anything, but trust me, it's going on. And then I'll show you the final product. All right, and what we were talking about on that clutch side, that vent, you're gonna wanna get that on, and then make sure that that rib lines up. Get it on there nice and tight, and then this is gonna go up to our cooling box. Okay, your engine intake is this boot here. You just slide this right over it. It's gonna run up, and it's also going to run to that same air box up here. Again, 7mm. Don't overdo the clamp. Just make sure it's on there good. There's no arrows or any indicators on this one. So just get it on there and get it on there nice and snug. Nobody wants any water or dust down in their engine, so. Good. You just don't want to strip out that. All right. Now, we'll take these vent lines. We're going to clip these in. Run through that separator. Run through that. Then we're going to get that box on and get this all hooked up. Okay, I'm going to show you a super simple way to make sure that this ends up hanging up there correctly at the right height on an HD11. So I kind of just threw this up here to figure out the height. I have this in here. You pull this dart out, and I want to show you where that comes back out to. If you pop your back seats real quick, all they do is pop right out, and then pull all of the little push pins out of this back piece. Pulled that back a little bit, and you can see that that transfers right inside right there. So I'm going to run a bolt through that with a bracket to grab this. Okay, we're on this step, and this step requires us to remove this nub and make that flat. Probably at least at that angle, if not a little bit down farther. So, trusty Dremel here with a beat up little wheel, and I'm gonna buzz that off real quick. Okay, we got this cut out. Got that nub cut off of there. Definitely has some clearance now. And try to make it look as factory as possible. Kept some of that rigidity there too, as well. Looks a lot better. All right, let's go get this thing bolted up. Okay, so I have these dry fit here. I have this screw in and this screw in. Now I gotta try to figure out where I can get that bolt to line up.
This is the part that takes a little bit of fabrication. The bracket does not exist today. So find yourself a piece of scrap steel. If you don't have one, you can get one at the hardware store. But make sure it's not too flimsy. You shouldn't be able to bend it easily with your hands. Ideally, you're going to use a vise, maybe a hammer, and then just get it close to this. And you might have to just play with the mount holes where you drill them. So, but all these things should help you. This is probably the most challenging part of the entire install.
Okay, I got this mounted up. As you can see, I'm using that top hole there. I'm using the lowest one, and I showed you those dimensions of that. I've also put on a 10mm nut, a flange nut, as a spacer. As you notice on the back side of the machine, you kind of have this indentation, so it fills that up. So we're gonna get this thing mounted up. Got everything bolted up. So you're gonna put one screw there and one screw there. Everything's ready to line up. So we're gonna extend these lines up in here, get them all trimmed, get it capped, and put together, as well as putting all of these on. So, all right, we got these shortened up, clipped off there, and then this cover is going to go in there to secure it so that way they don't fall out on you. Then we're going to put our cap on. So now that we've moved this hole down, because we used this hole for that bracket, we're going to have to drill a fresh hole for this one so that way it's down the same direction. But that's what she looks like all put together. And then let's get this cap on there. All right, now that we've got these tubes hooked up and we've done all the modifications to this box where we've added all the screws, you can see here that come in the kit. We're going to go ahead and hook this back up when we drop this in. That goes to your upper snorkel. And then this is going to go back to your intake there. Pretty simple. You do have to fight this a little bit. It's kind of a pain to wedge it in there, but once it drops in, and then just these two darts right here hold it in position. All right, guys, to finish this thing off, remember this lip that we put on here, we took off of here. You're gonna go ahead and you're gonna replace those with two of these that come in the kit. Drop those on. Finishes it all up real nice. All right, Boondockers, everything's all buttoned up on her. Looking good. Put the blocks back in. Everything's ready to go. Can you snorkel your HD11 snorkel? Yes, you can. So take just a little imagination on that bracket, and then I showed you basically how to build that with your dimensions. So hopefully saves you a ton of time.
Hey, thanks so much for watching. Really appreciate your time that you're spending watching these videos. If you liked the video, please click that like button down there and click subscribe. It's free. It just lets you know when new stuff comes out, builds our subscriber count, makes us a little more popular, and also...
hey, at the bottom of the page, you're gonna notice that we have a new store where you can get cool guy swag and cool girl swag.
Yeah, lots of colors.
Lots of different colors, and there's a lot of lady stuff in there too. Coffee mugs, shirts, sweatshirts, even some old school. So we have an OG collection, the original collection, And all these other fun stuff as well. So, in fact, there's a Sasquatch.
There is, yeah. UTVBoondocker.com. Take you right to the store. You can scroll down, see some of our stuff. So check it out and support the Boondocker Nation. We really appreciate anything you do.